Well, the Castlevania chapter is live on the PTB, and we're going to break down everything you need to know about it from the patch notes for the PTB. So not only the arrival of Dracula as well as Trevor Belmont, the new survivor, but what changes are going on, and we're going to break that down right now. The patch notes for the 8.2.0 update, otherwise known as the Castlevania update. And of course, we'll start with content new survivor, Trevor Belmont. Now, there was some argument about which Belmont was it going to be. Was it going to be a la carte? I still think we get a la carte as a premium skin, but it's Trevor. His first perk is called Eyes of Belmont. When a generator is completed, the aura of the killer revealed to you for 1, 2, or 3 seconds. Anytime the killer's aura is shown for a period of time, its duration is created by 2, 2, 2. So 2 seconds across the board. So for example, the first time you see the killer's aura, it's 1 second. The next time it's 3 seconds. The next time it's 5 seconds, so on and so forth. The second perk is called Exaltation. Stunning the killer with a pallet upgrades your held item rarity to the next tier, then recharges 25% of the item's maximum cooldown charges. The rarity is not kept to the end of the trial, and this perk has 40, 35, and 30 second cooldown. That's interesting. So like if you have like a regular flashlight, it'll get upgraded to a green flashlight with recharging of 25%. That's interesting. And his final perk is called Moment of Glory. The perk activates after you open or rummage through 2 chests. When you become injured, you become broken. Automatically heal 1 health state of 80, 70, or 60 seconds. This effect is canceled if you enter dying state. The perk will not activate if you already suffer from broken status effect. Interesting. Another healing perk. I know how people love those as killers. The new killer is Dracula, aka the Dark Lord, and his killer power is his dark power allows him to exact revenge on humans, taking many forms to terrorize and slaughter them. The Dark Lord has access to 3 forms and can freely change between them. Each form has unique abilities and strengths. First is his vampire form. It's a default state. The Dark Lord can use his powerful Hellfire spell, which creates pillars of flame that travel ahead of him and can be cast across low obstacles. Wolf form. In Wolf form, the Dark Lord has access to several abilities that allow for more effective tracking. Movement speed, increased blood pools, scratch marks, and more apparent, and survivors have trail of scent orbs behind them. The Dark Lord can collect these scent orbs to charge a more powerful pounce attack. Holy shit, so he like transforms into Wolf Oni? Finally, Bat form. While in Bat form, the Dark Lord gains undetectable status effect. Additionally, he moves faster, ignoring vault points, can teleport to any vault point within 32 meters. Survivors become invisible, but scratch marks can be seen. Interesting. So, in that case, he transforms into Bat Spirit. This is a wild killer. The perks. His first perk is called Hex, Wretched Fate. After one generator has been repaired, a random dull totem becomes a Hex totem. Curses the Obsession. The Obsession has a 27, 30, and 33% repair speed penalty. They also see the Hex totem's aura within 12 meters across the board. This effect persists until the Hex totem is cleansed. The second perk is called Human Greed. You see unopened chest auras, and survivor auras are revealed for 3 seconds when they enter an 8-meter range. You can also gain the ability to kick chests to close them. This ability has 80, 70, and 60-second cooldown. Survivors unlock those closed chests 50% faster. And the final perk is called Dominance. The first time each totem and each chest is interacted with by a survivor, the totem or chest is blocked by the entity for 4, 6, and 8 seconds. The aura of blocked totems and chests are revealed to you in white. Interesting perk. I kind of like that. Now that we know about Dracula and Trevor, we're going to talk about those killer updates. First, we're going to talk about Doctor's Base Kit. Static Blast cooldown is now dynamic. If no survivor was caught in the Static Blast, the cooldown will be 30 seconds. This is brand new. This was already talked about in the developer update. If at least one survivor is caught with the Static Blast, the cooldown will be 45 seconds. It was 60. And increased movement speed while charging Static Blast to 2.99 milliseconds was 1.16. And then, of course, they just changed the add-ons to be equivalent of that. Next is Dredge. Dredge's base kit was also adjusted. Decreased the volume of Dredge's audio. Increased movement speed while charging Reign of Darkness to 3.8 milliseconds was 3.68. Not a huge difference, but it might be noticeable. Decreased daytime cooldown to 10 seconds was 12. Increased daytime teleporting to 19 milliseconds was 12. Decrease the time to exit lockers to 2.25 seconds was a full 3, and increased night charges per survivor to 1 charge per second was 0.75. I like what they kind of did with Dredge. He's gonna be a little more quiet, a little faster, a little bit teleporty. It makes him not so noticeable in Nightfall. I kind of like that. And of course, his add-ons were and then in turn adjusted to equate for the new base kit. They've been doing this now for about 4 patches, just basically making the add-ons, unless they have a brand new power, basically they're just aligned, and all these are just alignments. If any have a new power or a new purpose, I will let you know. And finally, Nemesis base kit was also touched. Decreased mutation rate 2, requirement to 5 contaminations was 6, and increased hindered penalty duration from tentacle hits to a full 2 seconds, up from a quarter of a second. So you used to be, you hit them with your tentacle, say on side of the pilot, and they just ran away and that was the end of it. Now they're going to be hindered for the whole 2 seconds. That's actually really big. And of course, Liquor Tongue and Marvin's Blood were just adjusted to adjust for the new base kit. Nothing new. Survivor perk updates. Blast Mine. A lot of these are just going to be like we talked about. It's just lowering cooldown. Activates after completing 40% was 50. Chemical Track activates after completing 20% of a generator was 50. Stays active for 40, 50, 60 seconds was 110, 110, and 120. So you have less time with the Chemical Trap on there, but it takes a lot less time to get to it. Dance with Me cooldown is 30, 25, and 20, was 60, 50, and 40 seconds. And you see the exact same thing with Deception, same across the board. Diversion activates after being the killer's terror radius while not in chase for 30, 25, or 20 seconds, was 40, 35, and 30 seconds, so much quicker to activate. Pebble Flashbang activates after completing a total of 50, 45, or 40% of a generator was 70, 60, and 50. You're going to get a lot more flashbangs now than you did before. Mirrored Illusion activates completing 20% of the generator was 50%, and Wiretap activates after completing 40 was 50. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. General gameplay update: increase hook stage timer to 70 seconds. So on stage 1 and 2, you have an additional 10 seconds now. Map updates: Castle Vista. Dracula's castle will spawn in the sky of Dead by Daylight original maps when playing against Dracula and Midwich Gameplay Pass. The breakable walls have been removed from the bottom section for both roles to use an extra set of stairs for navigating between the first and second floors. Here's your features. Graphic option added to support to Intel XES for PC. Live data reboot. As part of our live operations, we occasionally deploy updates to the game without needing an update of the game application itself. These updates include kill switches and new cosmetics, among other data. Starting from this release, when critical data update is required to be downloaded by the game, you may see a pop-up asking you to return to the splash screen. This is just about how hot fixes, basically, in case you were unaware. UX lobby controller compatible navigation. Players can now toggle between rotation mode to use R stick to rotate the character preview as the store, so they don't need to press A on stop on the joystick. Cosmetic subtabs defaults to outfits instead of heads. Okay. Starting menu disabled options are shown as grayed out instead of having a black transparent background. And miscellaneous. The prestige levels or players are no longer visible in the online lobby post matchmaking. So all you people who grinded your character to P100, the killers will never see it again. Upgraded easy anti-cheat to new version, and there's now a limit of 10,000 of any item or add-on or offering. Finally, you get to the old bug fixes. Audio. The fixed an issue that caused long grass to make no sound on collision, and fixed an issue where season grade reset reward sounded triggered multiple times without no visual. Characters. Fixed an issue where it caused the trapper to sometimes not pick up bear traps despite the animation playing while wearing the Naughty Bear outfit. Yeah, you saw that anytime I streamed, where there's sometimes I had to pick up a trap 3, 4, or 5 times. Fixed an issue cause placing a trap as a multiple characters trap, hag, and nightmare close to the wall or other objects to be canceled, even though the placement indicator showed it was a valid location. Survivor's grab animation is now correctly aligned with the Dredge's teleport to a locker at the same time as Survivor enters it, and Demo Puppy can no longer perform actions while traveling through a tunnel and opening and closing match detail screen. Jittering should be reduced when spectating killers. Some issues still remain on the killer's weapons are just being looked at. Maps. Collision update pass of the map of Garden Joy. Collision update pass on the realms of McMillan's Estates. Fixed an issue in Greenville Park where the parking tile doesn't spawn. Fixed an issue in Tobas where invisible collision hindered navigation of the players. And fixed an issue in Greenville as well where Victor could dissolve when jumping in the stairs. No, Victor! UI fixes. If a player disconnects from a trial due to network issues, they will no longer see the killer's loadouts or name. Fix the HUD issue. Font readability and health bar elements to their previous size. Fix tally button navigation misalignment. Fix missing hair on the good guy default and prestige head cosmetics, and fixed an issue with the reward size of the tutorial screen. Finally, there's a couple of known issues. First, there is no indication the blood web with an item that reaches 10,000 inventory limit is purchased. Ooh, so people could buy something and just not get it. The Dark Lord and Trevor Belmont do not unlock the bloody cosmetics upon prestige level 426 on the PTB, and Dance With Me icon does not correctly show the cooldown. So they just did Dance With Me, but it's not properly showing the timer. Okay, and that's it. Now, of course, I am excited to play as Trevor, check out his perks, play as Dracula, see what it's like being Wolf Oni, which I think I'm going to spend a lot of time in Wolf Oni form, although Bat and Vampire sound really fun too. His perks don't sound overwhelming, but sneaky good, so I think there's some potential there for some fun, nasty builds. And even Trevor has some interesting ones. Now, I do think we do see more Belmonts come as skins. I could easily see a Simon and a Richter skin or an Alucard skin. And I think there's also options with different Draculas based on both the anime on Netflix as well as different versions of Castlevania. I like what they can do cosmetically. I like what they did with the chapter. I like that the castle's in the sky, even though I feel like it's a big miss not to have an actual Castlevania vampire map, but it is what it is. We will be on the PTB tonight, checking that all out. I want to know what you think in the comments below. What do you think about the Castlevania chapter? If you still just want to talk about FNAF, you can do that too in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, and later, mates.